Pierre.
And I am Mrs. McKinney, aka Ashley, aka Soul Singer Hicks.
And this is Marcell's Lounge. And today's topic is gender roles and society's view on them. So there's a lot going on right now with gender roles and relationships. A lot of women are expecting men to be that breadwinner go-getter like it was back in like the 60s, 50s, where all men did was work, take care of house and home, have a family on the side, but that's not my business. But they also want to be independent women. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's a very, very complex world that we live in. I personally think that you should do whatever fits you and your lifestyle. As for me personally, I think that we live in a new time where men and women can do the same thing. But it depends on what works for your household, your dynamic. As for me, I'm a stay-at-home mom full-time. My husband works full-time. And the reason why that works for us is because he has a master's degree. My highest level of education is some college. I never obtained my degree. Reason being, I wanted to pursue other things, but at the end of the day, whoever is comfortable with going out and working, and if they've got the means to do it,
Right.
It makes sense. I don't think it should be assigned to someone specifically because of their gender.
I think my whole thing is we should get used to the idea that sometimes the woman is going to be the breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there are stay-at-home dads. There's a lot of people that look at stay-at-home dads like, oh, he just sit on the couch, he don't do nothing, he just at home. All the time, that's not the case.
Yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions and stereotypes associated.
Stereotypes, that's the word.
I'm telling you, like the stereotype that if a man is staying at home, he is lazy. That's very negative. You can be lazy and have a job. You can be productive and be at home. As for me, it's not sitting at home doing nothing. I have work to do at home. It is not easy raising a child.
Guess what? People expect that from a woman.
Yeah.
It's like, being a mother is a hard job. Yes, it is hard. I had all the money in the world. It's the hardest job. But what about those fathers who are also put in that position? If people want to be equal, but there's no equal thought process.
Oh, not at all. No. I feel that if the roles were reversed, if I was the one making the money and working outside of the home, that people would still have a negative connotation. Oh, she's not involved enough with her child.
She's too busy.
Who's cooking for her husband? Who's cleaning? If she's at work. But then the flip side, women who are working are still expected to do that role that they are expected to have at home too. So.
And that's why I don't know what the world wants. You can't have equal representation in the workplace. You can't have equal equality, yes, but you both can't be looked at as equal if we don't hop out of that mindset.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. I feel like a lot of it too, and this is not an attack on men by any means, but a lot of society's standards come from men, if you think about it, because
white men.
That too. But like, if you think about it, you remember the James Brown song, "It's a Man's World."
But it would be nothing
without a woman.
Or
yeah. So what I'm trying to get at with that statement is, you can be successful, whether you're successful at your role as a homemaker and parent, or a hardworking provider working in the office or on factory lines, whatever it is that you do. You are going to have someone criticizing your role within the home dynamic, whether you're working outside the home or in the home. Because some people might look at me and say, well, besides cooking his food and cleaning his clothes and keeping the house clean and marking the calendars on when bills are due and blah, 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 what do you contribute?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, they think contribution is only monetary, but it's not.
You better.
Because money ain't everything. things still have to operate when you're not clocking in and collecting a paycheck.
50-50
yeah.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely 50-50.
Yeah.
I also want to address the fact, because I kind of touched on this in our dating episode, how women will look at a man based off of his job.
Mm.
So if he doesn't have a job that, you know, offhand makes like 6 figures or 7 figures, like, oh, he just a broke N-word. I don't want to say that.
No, I don't think that's, yeah. I don't subscribe to that either. Like, I really feel like there is this superficial, unrealistic standard that society has force-fed us to believe. And when you subscribe to that way of thinking, I really think that you allow yourself to miss out on great opportunities. Not only great opportunities monetarily speaking, but great opportunities spiritually, mentally, and romantically. If you're only looking for someone who makes a certain amount of money, because you can get somebody who makes a lot of money and still treats you like crap.
Like, just think that the money is going to hold you.
Not at all.
Instead, you can be dating that mailman who only makes a little bit over minimum wage, but he has the most romantic heart, the most romantic mind. Save for a woman. That's another thing. Women do it, like, what, gold diggers?
Yep. So that's another thing that I hate. It's okay to want to have high standards and to have an appreciation and taste for the finer things in life. That doesn't make you a gold digger. I personally, I love the finer things, okay? There's nothing wrong with it. I have been called bougie, but guess what? At the end of the day, I know where my priorities lie. I know what my intentions are. I'm never thinking, gimme, gimme, gimme. Like, I believe that there has to be reciprocation. And if I can't contribute financially, I'm not expecting that, you know, things are just going to be given to me. You have to work in the relationship. And there has to be common goals, and there has to be mutual understanding and respecting each other's boundaries and limits. And, you know, because at the end of the day, another thing, my husband is the breadwinner. I don't spend any money without consulting him, even though he tells me, your name is on the account. You can go spend whatever you want. Because I respect the fact that he is spending so much time providing, I don't want to just seem like I'm frivolously spending the money. Now that to me is that's gold digger right there.
About you. I know that's like, because even when we used to work back at the store, you'd always be like, hey, let me call my husband first. I was like, oh, that's his goals.
Because it's just a respect thing. Like, if I'm just out here buying things, but I'm not contributing to the funds that are going into that bank, and I'm only taking out of that bank, that looks like a gold digger.
It is a gold digger.
And guess what? When my taxes came and when I got money back from when I was working, that money went into our joint account. I didn't try to keep money to myself. And when I was working, I wasn't making as much as him, obviously, but the money I did make, it went towards groceries. It went towards paying my own little credit card bill. You know, I think that you should want to invest and not just divest the word. Don't just take. Give. Also give. Give where you can.
It's the thing, the wine is kicking in. It's a nice Moscato. I forget the brand. I didn't. But I know. It's a great. I also think another thing that kind of likes gender roles and how we live now is definitely pop culture.
Oh, definitely.
Like the music that we listen to, you got I don't know. I have to try to call his name. I think her name is Saweetie or Speedy. Y'all help me out later. Saweetie, I believe her name is. She's talking about a rich eight figure. That's her type. And I'm like, or you got that B Simone who says she wouldn't date anybody who worked a 9 to 5.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
And I'm like,
I mean, what type of world do you live in?
and she don't even got that much money if you think about it. She just came into the game.
Mm-hmm.
What did she do? She ripped off that book.
Oh, see, look, this might be over my head. And I hate to be I hate to acknowledge this, but we have an age difference. I might not even know who you're talking about. I'm old school. And you ain't even that old school. What year were you born?
97.
I was born in 87.
That's only 10 years. Think about
Exactly.
it.
I don't listen to a lot of the new music right now.
But I don't either. I only know her name because I
don't even know
her
her name. So when you were trying to pronounce it, I was like, I don't even know who was talking about.
So y'all know her name.
When somebody does, let me know so I can
she
figure it out.
Hennessy on my lips. No.
I never.
I don't know.
I never heard of that.
I don't know. That's my type. That's my type.
I've never heard of that. Ever. Never.
I know. We're gonna go ahead and listen to Saweetie.
We should. I want to know who this is. Yes.
These my Tinder home.
Oh, but yeah, when it comes to gender roles in the dating world, that also hurts me. Like,
oh my God.
Don't get me wrong. I feel that a part of me does still look for that old school chivalry. I do like. I love a man that will open the door, pull out a chair. I appreciate that. And that's why I want you to watch Mad Men. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, please check out Mad Men on Netflix, okay? It's a period piece. It takes place in the 1940s and 50s. And you just see so much class and elegance. And I think that is what's missing in the dating world. But back to gender roles.
So speaking of dating in gender roles,
yes.
What do you think about women who take men out on dates?
I think that's awesome. I would love to be able to take my husband out, and I have. It was before we got married, but I did take him out. I paid for dinner, drinks, and it was just nice because it's like, he deserves to feel catered to as well. It should not be a date where the woman always expects that she is going to be wined and dined. Men like to be wined and dined too.
Yeah, my mom, she does that for my stepdad a lot. Well, not a lot. I want to say a lot, but on that occasional thing, she'll just be like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it." I'm like, "Ooh, that's cute."
Yeah, it's necessary because at the end of the day, everyone wants to feel appreciated, and women feel appreciated when the man says, "Hey, put on your dress, and I'm taking you out. We're going somewhere." You get excited, right, ladies? I'm sure a man would get excited if he did the same thing. I'm sure he has a favorite restaurant, favorite drink that he would like to be given just because. Especially women love just because gifts. We love just because flowers. Men like that stuff too. Maybe not flowers, but you don't like flowers?
But I'll say.
And that's another thing. That's another thing that relates to gender expectations and roles within relationships. There are men who like flowers.
Yeah.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Flowers are beautiful.
I'm even tying into gay relationships, same-sex relationships.
Yeah.
There's always that stereotype that whoever's taller or bigger or more masculine.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
Is the man.
Mm-hmm. No, a relationship is two equal people. No one is higher than the other or more powerful than the other. You come in as two strong, equal opportunity and independent people.
To become one unit.
Right. And whoever pays the bill, I don't think it should be based on their gender. I don't think it should be because one person is masculine, they should be the one to take over, and the person who is feminine doesn't. I think whatever works for your relationship and whatever works for you as an individual should define how that relationship operates. For me personally, in my marriage, my husband is the masculine figure and I am the feminine figure. However, if my money is in a good place, I'm going to pay the bill. But right now, obviously,
it shows your appreciation.
Right, it shows your appreciation. When I was single, living by myself, if I wanted to do something special, I was not going to let him pay. Even if I couldn't afford the meal itself, I was at least going to split the bill. I was at least going to offer to leave the tip. I was going to buy the drink. He buy the food. We'd make it work.
But how do you go about having that conversation? That part is kind of tricky for a lot of people I know. Just like, oh, hey, so are you paying or am I paying?
That's a conversation that has to be had in the beginning before you go on a date. Okay. Because sometimes people get to know each other before they go on dates. Right. And that's when you have these kinds of conversations. Yeah, you're supposed to have these conversations.
You're supposed to.
You need to know what you're getting yourself into. Please. Don't set yourself up for failure and look awkward and silly at the dinner table.
Lord.
Don't do that to yourself. No.
Or don't have them set up a date and then you're waiting in your dorm for hours and they never respond.
Sorry. Did that happen to you?
Sure, why not?
The disrespect.
It was so weird. So someone was like, yeah, let's go out to Applebee's. Like, okay. I get dressed. I get ready. I'm all first. My wardrobe.
Yes. Yes.
I got on my Gucci cologne. I'm like, all right, cool. You lit. Here I am standing on the steps. Oh, you still coming? No response. 2 days later, oh my bad. Oh my bad.
I would have been like,
bad.
Who is this?
I don't new number. I don't know who you are.
That's disrespectful.
Well, we totally digress from the whole topic. This is normally what happens on Marcell's Lounge.
That's okay. These are the kind of conversations that I live for.
I don't know if anybody has noticed already. My show starts out with a topic. You get 6 more.
Yeah, you're getting a what?
Your life advice.
2 for 1 special.
Period.
No, but these are very important topics. Another thing that I think should be noted is when it's your idea to go on the date,
that part.
You should be the one to pay.
That part.
It doesn't matter if you're man, woman, doesn't matter.
If you say let's go out, that means you got it. I don't want to reach for my wallet. I mean, I'll do it out of courtesy. Be like, oh.
Yeah. Yes.
Still single.
I have to say, enjoy being single. I didn't enjoy it. Let me tell you why I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it because I did not value my me time enough. Now, once you get in a relationship and you start seeing things that are like red flags or just little things that irk you the wrong way, that's when you start appreciating singleness. And it shouldn't take that. You need to appreciate singleness as it is. Take the time to work on yourself. That way you can actually attract what it is you want.
Let's talk about working on ourselves. Let's talk about it. Because because quarantine, we're locked down. Well, we're not locked down anymore, so kind of maybe. We don't know. We're somewhere in the middle. I still spend a lot of my day. This is my space. I have the space cleared out, and most of my day is spent meditating or watching TV or reading a book or in the kitchen because I get bored. I'm just like, I think I spend a lot of time with myself, and sometimes Marcell gets sick of Marcell. And that's why I'm always just like, oh man, I wish it was like a relationship or something. At least I have somebody to bounce ideas off for, argue with, yell at.
And you can have all that and
I
a
just got
companion.
I have Tanae.
You can have all that within multiple friendships and family ships.
But I have that.
And that's the
I
thing.
need a masculine energy. I have way too many feminine energies around.
Okay.
That's the thing. 'Cause I have all female friends. And then I went and got a cat. And guess what? It's a girl.
Well, I can't say that I have some concrete advice for that, but I would suggest maybe trying to maybe listen to a masculine person, whether it be a podcast. If you're looking for masculine personality through intellectual conversation, you might be able to find that in group chats or group things on social media.
Yeah, my fraternity. I rarely get into it.
But you have to be able to, that's the thing. You have to know, like, you have to be very direct in what your intentions are when you're, just not to give out false advertisement. Meaning, if you're looking for a relationship, let that be known. But if you're just enjoying your singleness and wanting to attract a masculine lover, relationship, whatever, that has to happen on its own.
I know.
I mean, you can seek it. I'm not saying you can't seek it, but it's probably going to be a little more complicated to seek it right now.
All things coming.
Exactly. And I'm telling you from my own personal experience. I've only been married for 2 years, but I have known my husband for over 12 years. And it was a very on and off turbulent relationship. I've had other relationships before and after him, and I didn't appreciate my single time. I really didn't.
So it was a gift that you didn't take advantage of.
Yes, it was a gift I didn't take advantage of. I was always in situationships.
No, like, you were in entanglements.
Entanglements, yes. I was in entanglement. I was in a relationship with the idea of being in a relationship.
Oh, definitely.
I was in love with the idea of being in love.
But aren't we all?
Yes, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when it becomes something that you almost obsess over mentally, to the point where you find yourself looking when you shouldn't be, and the reason why you shouldn't be is because when you look for something,
you find it.
And it ain't all the time what you're looking for. And it's not always exactly what you're looking for. So that's why I'm saying you gotta appreciate your singleness, because I feel like I would have saved myself from a lot of heartache. I would have saved myself from a lot of, can I cuss?
Yes.
Fuck boys. I would have avoided fuck boys. I would have avoided having my time wasted. I would have been able to solidify and strengthen my relationships with my girlfriends. I would have had so much time to truly self-reflect that I would have known these are my standards, and I'm not gonna just let anything slide. Because I let a lot of things slide that should not have slid.
Well,
okay.
All
because I was hungry for companionship when I should have just been
slip and slide.
I'm trying to tell you.
Out of pocket. I gotta go. Out of pocket. Yeah.
Me too.
You have to come on the show more.
I would love to. I would love to.
You're definitely right. You might even be back next week.
Oh.
Who knows?
I would love to. I think that these conversations need to be had, and you never know who you'll reach.
And this is what this show is all about. Talk about the topics that mainstream doesn't want to talk about. I've been a part of several different parties. And you know, in the business, you don't talk about sex, you don't talk about religion, you don't talk about sex, you don't talk about politics or anything touchy. I want this to be an open space.
Yes.
I want this to be the space where everybody comes, talk, comment in the comment section, send me messages, send me emails. You want to be on the show? Contact me. I'll put you on the show. Open opportunity. I just want this to be a safe space for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so this is the part of the show where we give our final thoughts. And
Oh man.
first, what is your final thoughts?
Okay. Final thoughts. Stay away from entanglement. Number one. If you're not sure what the definition is, I'm gonna try to give you a rough draft definition. Entanglement is something where you are caught up in situations that feel uncomfortable, but comfortable at the same time.
R.E. Jada and August.
Like you want to say yes, but you know you should say no. That's what an entanglement is. Stay away from that. Final thought number two. Don't subscribe to society's idea of how you should operate as an individual and as a couple. How you operate as a couple depends on you and your partner. Don't let the outside world influence how your relationship flourishes. Those are my final.
I like to come up with. All right, let's see my my final thoughts. Don't think because you're pretty or you think that you can just pull somebody just because you're you, that's the case. Don't treat people like that's the case because you're going to end up running a lot of people off because of what you plus society thinks. My second thought, which is actually a thought from my dating video, is if you are in a relationship, get a unit in the streets, correct them at home. Because nobody needs to know that that person was wrong. And you need to be battlefront. Your war, my war.
Exactly.
We're at war together. But when you get home, I'm definitely going to tell you about yourself. Because you knew you was wrong. They had to do that.
Real.
Final thoughts. Thank you
Real.
so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
So, we'll see you
Honor.
all next month.
Bye.